What's going on, guys? You already know it's your boy Smoke, rated back in the motherfucking house. Chapter 704 of One Piece, Luffy and the Statue of Kiros. Now, we start this bitch off, and let me talk about this opening panel, because people would always speculate that Caribou was on the island of Kaido, and Kaido, you know, they were just chilling and shit, and it shows this panel of this huge mecha thing that we saw when Drake was on that one island. Yeah, I'm assuming it's the same island now, and he's just like stomping the rebellion out. He's stomping all of Caribou, or the men who think Caribou is this revolutionary leader, and he's just stomping them out, putting them to complete waste. There's nothing they could do. I seen this guy had like a number on his chest, and so it makes me think that, and this is because something we see later in the chapter I'll get to here in a minute. I saw the number, so look at the number. I think these numbers are important. So we jump back into the chapter, and it's just after Luffy put the smashing on that dude Spartan. Everyone's like, what happened? If you started this shit, we're kicking your ass out. And people start sticking up for him. They're like, no, it wasn't this guy Luffy, or it wasn't this guy Lucy, it was someone else. And there's these three brothers, or these three people that come out. They're the Hanokuni Country of Flowers people. Their name is Don, Chinzhou, Zai, and Boo. And another thing I want you guys to go back and look at this chapter is the numbers on these guys' chests. So one has a number 13, one has a number 12, and I forgot what the other guy's number was, but if you want to look at that, I think these guys might work under Kaido. So depending on what's going to happen with this tournament, and you know, I'm going to go deeper and deeper into this as this goes on, but so if they're going to go back and talk to Kaido about this, about what happens at this tournament, I'd be interested to see who these guys really are, if they are actually part of Kaido. It's funny because Luffy's like, oh, thanks for helping me out, you know, it's really nice of you, you didn't have to do that, and the guys are like, nah, there's no need for thanks, I just don't like when people are, you know, getting fucked up, don't thank us, fuck that, don't thank us, and Luffy's like, it's alright, man, thanks, you tried to help me out, and he's like, fuck you, man, fuck you, fuck you, don't take your fucking thanks back, I ain't getting your thanks, you son of a bitch, don't thank me ever again. And it was some funny shit. Then we start seeing just some more random ass characters that are brought in. These guys called the Funk Brothers. This guy named Beautiful, he's a fucking prince, you know, or not a prince, he's like the pirate prince is what he calls himself. He looks like a complete faggot though. We have these guys called from like this other kingdom. It's called the Providence Kingdom, and his name is Dogma, and the actual king is there, the Brawling King, Elizabano or something. I think that's how you say his name. So it's cool to see that. That's what I love about Oda in these chapters. He's bringing in so many new characters. This character, and his imagination is fantastic to see how he's just bringing all these people in. So they're basically explaining like everybody here wants to buy or wants to enter the tournament to get this devil fruit. You know that this is an extremely rare devil fruit. Anybody who gets this is immediately top to mid tier, or mid tier. You know, top of mid tier. That devil fruit is so incredible that even if people have hockey and shit like that, it's kind of hard to land a hit on him and even beat them in some cases. It's cool because we get to see Bellemere in this shit, and I was like, oh, Bellemere's not dead, yo. He's got some like scars on his head, and me and some people were joking in the stream earlier, saying like if he's got like a fist imprinted on his face still, that'd be some funny ass shit. But it was cool to see Bellemere, and you know, Luffy's basically going through. He's trying to decide what kind of armor he wants to wear. He sees like people are putting on armor, so he puts on this suit of armor, and he just looks bad ass. Yo, he's got like these giant horns, this thing. He's got this huge shield. He's got some sick ass armor, and he's got like this belt. It's got like a pirate belt, and he's got this sword. Luffy just looks badass. Yo, it says Gladiator Lucy underneath it. It was a badass panel. And then there's this guy called Prince. The beautiful guy or whatever. I refuse to call him beautiful. I'm never going to call another man beautiful, even if he is a manga character, yo. So he's basically telling Luffy about, you know, I was the beast. Everybody was like talking about me. They were like, oh, do you see that beautiful prince? Like he's the beast. Bitches would steal my wanted posters because they wanted to see me. They wanted to see the beautiful prince. And so I was never caught, never captured. And once I get this devil fruit, I'm about to be a beast. Like, he's got like a $280 million belly. And personally, I think this guy's a bitch. He's gonna get one punched. He's just gonna be like, oh, I'm so beautiful. Like, knock the fuck out. Him and Luffy are talking, and he's like, oh, what's your name? You know, blah, blah, blah. he's like, you know, Luffy's being told that his armor is too heavy, so he has to change out. So he's like, he just keeps the helmet. He keeps like, he takes the rest of it off, keeps the chainmail, I think, on his chest, and he's asking like, who are you? Like, have I heard of you before? He's like, oh, my name is Luffy. I'm gonna be the person who becomes the Pirate King. And everybody just turns around. Everybody just turns around and they start looking at him like, what the hell? Did he just say Monkey D. Luffy? Like, is he Luffy? And they all see the back of his name tag and it says Lucy. And like people start throwing shit at him and they start yelling at him. Hell, it was a funny ass scene. They're like, who mispronounces their own name? And he's like, my life flashed before my eyes. I thought Straw Hat Luffy had shown up. And the guy was like, nah, you can't be Luffy, because if you were Luffy, I would have killed you already. He stole all my claim. He stole all my thunder. You know, him in the worst generation, those guys are like little bitches. They came in and they just stole all my thunder like little bitch-ass hoes. So he's like, fuck it, I'm going to win this Mara no Mi, and I'm going to start beasting out. So Luffy leaves and he sees this giant statue of this guy named Kiros, and he starts walking up there and he's just checking it out. And some people are coming like, oh, do you know who this guy is? And he's like, no, I don't know who that is. And while he's checking this out, some chick walks up. Her name is Rebecca. She's a gladiator. She's just got like, all she has is like chainmail on her titties and like on her vag. It was a beautiful costume, I will say that. So they're just talking about Kiros. They're like, oh, this is a legendary warrior. He won 3,000 consecutive matches in a row. Only took one hit. Luffy's like, oh man, he sounds really strong. And they're saying nobody knows who this guy actually is. So we don't know if he was actually real, if he was fake. Some say that he retired 20 years ago. Some say he was never there in the first place. And, you know, so they were basically just talking about that. And maybe this was, and this is what some people, like McRople, has actually talked to me about, where he says that this guy might actually be Goldie Roger. And I was thinking, the timeline would kind of fit. Maybe he came to the island, and maybe he dressed up like Luffy's doing now, and he's like trying to run through there and run the tournament. So I don't know, that'd be kind of funny. So Rebecca's trying to explain all this stuff to Luffy about this guy Kiros, and she's explaining why she wants the Yomi, or the Mara no Mi, and she wants to become, you know, strong, and she wants to kill Doflamingo. And Luffy's like, oh, you want to take out Mango as well? And she's like, yeah, I got to. I don't know if maybe she was married to him, like, you know, she was like one of those bitches who like stab people or shit like that. Maybe she's like Baby 5. Maybe Doflamingo killed someone that she loved. So it's gonna be crazy. I know a lot of people are speculating her for pirate, you know, her for Nakama. It'd be interesting to see if she gets the Mara no Mi, then we'd have a female Logia. And I know people like have that theory of 2 females, 2 males for every I guess devil fruit that's out there. And then we flip to the next page, and this whole page was just full of epicness, yo. Just people going like, this guy has won the tournament, or like won round A. You know, he was in Group A, and they were like, oh, who is this man? And he's like, he's wearing a mask, and he takes off the mask, and people are just like flabbergasted. They're like, oh, and all I see is his beard and his long hair. I'm like, that's not Rayleigh, is it? Why would Rayleigh be here? And it's Jesus Burgess, or Jesus Burgess, however you want to say his name, from fucking Blackbeard Pirates. Now this is going to be crazy, because we know eventually Luffy is going to have to fight this guy. Luffy's probably not going to like want to lose when there's a Blackbeard pirate around. You know, he doesn't like Blackbeard. He probably hates Blackbeard with like all of his soul, all of his hockey will. And to see like them fighting, he like knocks everybody out. I don't know if he used to Conquer King or he just like punched everybody out, knocked them out like no problem. So it's gonna be crazy to see who it is that they're how they're gonna fight. What I want to see is, I want to see them like fight so much that the Coliseum around them actually fucking falls apart. You know, I want to see a huge ass fight. I don't want to see like them fighting on this little stage, knock each other out, because I want to see them like hit each other and like go flying backwards. Because this is what I'm expecting out of the Blackbeard Pirates. I'm expecting the Blackbeard Pirates to be super fucking hot, like tanky, super strong. Especially with Jesus Burgess, he looks like one of the strongest people that they would have on their crew. So I want to see how his hockey is, what his Hammerman hockey is. And I'm going to get some more things about this arc that I think is going to happen down the road. What's gonna all entail on this shit. So when Luffy fights this guy, and I don't think this is going to be a whole tournament. I think it was just a tournament. The tournament's going to take place in this arc, but it's not going to be the whole central thing of the arc. It's because we still have Traffic Law, Robin, and Usopp traveling to go drop Caesar the Clown off at Greenbit. We have Zoro chasing his sword somewhere. We got Sanji taking out Zenitsu. We got Kinemon doing who the hell knows what Kinemon's doing. So, someone else had like this theory, interesting theory that I was checking out about, that they think the actual lab is underneath the Colosseum, which would make sense because they always say like, oh, police can't come here, the Marines can't go here, and if they can't find out where it is, underneath the Colosseum would probably be a good place to put it. So I really want to see what happens during this fight when Luffy knocks this guy out, and they're just fighting and fighting and fighting, and I think they're too strong to actually be held in a little ass, Colosseum. I think they're gonna be flying. Like, I want to see him punch him, and I want to see like people running out of the way, trying to get out of Burgess, going flying through the Colosseum. Like, I want to see a hole in the Colosseum. His hat's gonna fall out. People are gonna be like, "Oh shit, it's Straw Hat Luffy." People are gonna start jumping in there trying to take him out. The Doflamingo family is gonna go crazy. It's crazy, man. This is a really great setup chapter. It makes me think about so much things that's gonna happen in the future of One Piece, or especially this arc. The Dressrosa arc, I'm telling you, it's gonna be epic, man. Dressrosa arc for the win. Anyways, guys, this is Smoke Raider. Check my channel out, subscribe, like the video if you like the video. Check out my other content. Peace the fuck out, everybody. Bitches, blunts, anime, One Piece all day. I'm out.